Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be teaching you 5 different ways by which you can build compound interest through very viable investments. Now, the first question a lot of people are going to ask me is this: what is compound interest? Now, it's very simple. Compound interest is a way of compounding your investment whereby you invest a capital and then you reinvest your profit and you keep on reinvesting your profit along with your capital over a long period of time, and then you create a snowball effect whereby your interests are so profound that you're able to live off them. So that's what compound interest is. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, what are the ways by which you can get compound interest? Now, when people talk about compound interest, a lot of times they tend to talk about finances and financial investments. But the number one way you can get compound interest is by investing in yourself. Investing in yourself. That is the greatest investment that you can make, not just in compound interest, in any way, because nobody can take what you invest in you from you. So they can take away the stock market, they can take away your capital gains, they can take away your gains with crypto, they can take away your gains in every other area. But what you invest into yourself cannot be taken away from you. And so you need to invest in a skill. Now, the main thing preventing a lot of people from investing in a skill is time. People say they don't have time. But then everybody has the same 24 hours in the world. Everybody. There's nobody on earth that has 25 hours in a day, or 26 hours in a day, 27 hours in a day. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. It now depends on you. How are you using your 24 hours? Now, even if you have a job, you close from your office, you have time after your job. One of the biggest time wasters that people have all over the world, doesn't matter whether they're in Timbuktu or whether they're in New York, it is television. I don't watch television. And I train my kids. My kids don't watch television. Right from when they were very young, we made them have interest in the outdoor world, riding their bikes, going to parks, reading, which is a very big thing with me because I read a lot. I'm a bookworm. And then going out on family holidays, fun outdoorsy things like cruises, going to Disneyland, you know, building interpersonal relationships with other kids, other adults, other grown-ups. Now, if you want to develop a skill, you have to cut down on television and endless scrolling on your phones. Endless scrolling. You see, if you want to learn a skill, you have to create time, force out time, schedule out time to learn that skill. And what are some of the skills that you can learn to have compound interest in yourself? In the year 2023, we've got some major skills. AI is one of them. Machine learning is another. Cloud computing, ethical hacking, and then coding. So these are skills that you can learn and that they're going to serve you at least for the next 4 to 5 years because technology changes. So some skills become obsolete. So that means you have to keep on learning skills, every other year. So these are skills that you can learn because when you learn these skills, you're going to be in high demand. You're going to be in high demand for jobs, and you're also going to be in high demand, as like a partner to start up a business. That's how, if you look at how, like John Coombe and others started with businesses, they were looking for people who had skills. And then, they put out, in the case of John Coombe, a tweet. And then they came together and then they started a company that they started. And you can learn these skills for almost for free on YouTube, or you can learn them on Coursera or on various other ways, Udemy. But then learning a skill is the first way by which you can build compound interest. Now, the next way is by investing in the S&P 500. If you don't have an investment in S&P 500, you need to get one. If you're an adult and if you have any kind of income coming in, even if it's income that people give to you as gifts, you need to invest in the S&P 500 because over the last 10 years, the S&P 500 has had a CAGPR, that's a compound annual growth rate of about 13%, actually 12.39%, which is approximately 13%. And it has outperformed almost every other investment that has to do with the stock market. And that's a way by which you can get compound interest. So look at it this way. You have 10,000 invested in the S&P 500, and then you have got a 13% interest rate. And so in the first year, you made 1,300 on your investment. So now you have 11,300, and then you reinvest that, all of it, both your capital and your profit. And then it gives you another serious money. So maybe in the next year, you get another 1,400, you add that to it. And so eventually it continues to build. And in 10 years' time, you can actually retire on just your investment on the S&P 500. But it doesn't have to be on the S&P 500. There are various other index funds that you can invest in. So the S&P 500 is just one index. You also have the Russell 2000, you have the Wilshire 5000. And so you have index funds that subscribe into these indexes and then just invest in them. I'll recommend as much as 10,000. If you can do more than 10,000, good. But I at least try to do 10,000. And so the very best, when I say index fund, I would think, in my opinion, would be the Vanguard VFIEX. But there are others. There's the Vanguard Russell. There is the Invesco Nasdaq. There is the Fidelity Nasdaq. So you don't have to go with the VFIX. Just at least have your money in an index fund. Now, the next investment, I would say, are ETFs, gold ETFs, specifically gold ETFs. Now, a lot of people don't know that gold is so interwoven into our modern life. If you're watching me on a smartphone, there's gold in your smartphone. There's gold in your television. There's gold in a lot of the electronics in your house, but you don't even know. In the medical field, gold is used a lot. And then obviously, because there are about almost 8 billion people on earth, there's always marriages going on. Gold is used in marriages. Gold is used in jewelry that people wear every day. Gold is so relevant, and it's always been relevant. If you read scripture, you see Abraham had gold, his son Isaac had gold, his grandson Jacob had gold, and so on and so forth, even till the time of Yeshua, and continues till now. Gold holds its value. So, and if you invest in the ETF, ETFs, they tend to give a CAGR, a compound annual growth rate of about 8%. So your money is safe with the gold ETF. And what are the best gold ETF? I will tell you SPDR, otherwise called the GLD. I think that's the very best. But you don't have to go with that. As long as it's legit, park your money in the gold ETF. Now, the very next one will be real estate investment trust. Real estate investment trust. I'm telling you, look, a real estate investment trust is just the way to go now, especially as the housing market is beginning to pick up. So what's a real estate investment trust? It's almost like an index fund, whereby you're buying a small portion in a pool of real estate that a company owns. And so as the company gets rents, as the company sells those real estate, you get a dividends share. And so if you want to invest in a real estate investment trust, I would recommend that you invest in one that is dealing with American real estate. Prologis is one, it's a very good one. Prologis is a very good one. So I'll tell you this. With a real estate investment trust, in the last 10 years, they've been doing a CAGR of 8%. So it's not as high as an index fund, but definitely it's something that you want to go with. And then after that, cryptos. So a lot of people are scared with cryptos. They're scared of cryptos because you can just lose your principal, with cryptos. But here's the thing: you can lose your principal if you are not informed. So when you go into crypto, you want to be informed. You want to research, and the best way to do that is by indexing. Now, indexing is very painstaking. So you can rely on people like me who do indexing and who give out regular advisories or opinions, and then people make money from my indexing. But if you want to learn how to index, I'm going to put my video on how to index in the description box of this video. But another way, because if indexing is too time consuming for you, another way you can do it is to look for cryptos that have in a 24-hour period, they have a very high volume of transactions, like maybe about probably up to 2 billion, 3 billion, and then their unit price is below 300. So if you have a crypto when the unit price is below 300, and then in a 24-hour period, you've been able to do a volume of transaction of about 3 billion, I would invest in that crypto, because mostly, in fact, all the time, 100% of the time, I've seen that such cryptos, they always make money in the short term. That is within 36 to 48 hours. Now, having said that, so we've covered 5 areas. Now, what are these 5 areas that we've covered? We've covered personal skills, learning skills, the index funds. We've also covered real estate investment trusts, and then ETFs. So we have cryptos as the 5th and the final. So if you can invest in any of these ventures, I'm telling you, you're going to reap compound interest. Now, if you watch this, you've got questions arising from this, put your questions in the comment section of this video. Myself are going to bring them to me, and I will do my best to respond to each and every category. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp or a Telegram channel or email address, and I'll never approach you for money, or I'll never tell you that I want to invest your money for you. Beware of spammers who use my image to create fake YouTube profiles. Now, this is Pastor Reno, the Apostle of Prosperity, saying, God bless.
Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is